Maddox rod. It consists of multiple cylinders placed side by side with their axes parallel to each other. Now look what this arrangement of cylinders does to a point source of light. As you can notice, it converts the point source of light to a linear streak. This streak is perpendicular to the axis of cylinder. So here, when the axis of cylinder is horizontal, the streak is vertical. And when the axis of cylinder is made vertical, streak becomes horizontal. Maddox rod test can be used for detection of latent squint, that is heterophoria, and also for subjective measurement of deviation. These tests are performed at 6 meters for distance and 33 cm for near deviation. Let's talk about detection of latent squint first. Suppose there is a patient of latent squint, say exophoria. When the patient fixates on a point source, a single image will be seen as phoria is overcome by the fusion reflex. But when Maddox rod is held in front of one eye, image of the point source of light becomes dissimilar between two eyes, and thus fusion becomes dissociated and heterophoria becomes manifest. So in a patient with exophoria, light will now fall on the retina on a point that is more temporal to the fovea. So the image will be seen as being more nasal, and thus patient will have crossed diplopia. So in exophoria, there is crossed diplopia. In esophoria, light will fall on a point on retina that is more nasal to the fovea. So image will be shifted temporally. So in right eye exophoria, patient will see the line towards left. In right eye esophoria, towards right. In hypophoria, eye goes down and the red line is seen up. In hyperphoria, eye goes up and the red line is seen down. So remember, in all cases of Maddox rod test, eye behind the Maddox rod is deviating opposite to the direction of red line. Note that for testing vertical deviations, we will need a horizontal streak, so the orientation of Maddox rod cylinders is kept vertical. Subjective measurement of deviation can be done using Maddox rod. For this, Maddox rod is placed in front of one eye and prism in front of the other eye, and the power of prism is kept on increasing until the images overlap. The power with which orthophoria is achieved will be the measure of subjective deviation. Both vertical and horizontal deviations can be measured, but the test cannot differentiate a phoria from tropia. Subjective torsion can also be measured. For this, double Maddox rod test is used, in which the patient fixes on a point source of light. Each Maddox rod is initially placed at 90 degrees in the trial frame. If necessary, a vertical prism is placed in front of one eye to disrupt fusion. A patient with normal subjective torsion will perceive two parallel horizontal lines. If an eye has abnormal torsion, lines will not be parallel, and the patient is asked to rotate appropriate Maddox rod until lines become horizontal and parallel. The degree of subjective torsion matches the final position of Maddox rod. For example, if a patient rotates lens from 90 to 95 degrees, the right eye has subjective extortion of 5 degrees. Thank you.